Thank you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Okapo, Right Honorable Dr. Pius Ibrahim Odugu, the SSG of Edo State, Professor Julius Ihonwere, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Patrick Obayamo, and of course all other protocols duly observed. At this point, we necessary attend clarification to give the welcome address. Honorable Washington Osifo.
Excellency, Deputy Governor, Edo State, Right Honorable Dr. Pius Ibrahim Odugu, my Lord President, Prosperous Dr. Justice Chief Thomas Okosun, other parties chieftains here present, traditional rulers here present, religious leaders here present, members of the judiciary, academia, other stakeholders on education matters and Edo State, distinguished members of the press, permit me please, service chiefs, trade unions, here present, civil societies, other NGOs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I once again appreciate the opportunity given to me by our dear colleague governor in my appointment as Commissioner for Secondary, Tertiary, and Technical Education in Edo State. This expression is significant to identify how delighted I am to participate in this important educational summit in Edo State today. It is equally relevant to use this opportunity to appreciate the good people of Edo State in their obvious willing support for our dear current governor and the government of Edo State. It is a well-known fact that policy initiation and implementation in Edo State under the able leadership of our dear current governor, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, is based on the inputs and majority opinion of the Edo people. We are all aware of previous town hall meetings put together by our dear current governor to demonstrate his understanding and passion for democratic virtues. These previous town hall meetings have assisted our dear current governor and the government of Edo State to generate discussions and aggregate brilliant opinions that have motivated in no small measures the enviable transformation of Edo State under the leadership of Comrade Adams Ali Oshiomhole. It is on this note that we are not surprised or confused as to how and why this educational summit. This educational summit is anchored on the sound governmental principle of Comrade Adams Ali Oshiomhole that reflects the index of democracy as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The focus of the ministries of education, whether basic or higher, is clear. We get our direction from the solid and sound framework put in place for the upliftment of our educational sector in Edo State by our dear comrade governor. I draw the inference from the above and emphasize the need to appreciate the gentlemen and ladies who are stakeholders in our education sector. And to other participants in this important education summit, the time you have sacrificed is a worthy commitment. Your contributions will receive noble attention, and your ideas will enhance the content and quality of government decisions. Our dear comrade governor, parents and stakeholders in our educational sector, I will not spend the time earmarked for the educational summit to remind you of what you are conscious of. The government of Edo State, as led by Comrade Adams Aliyu Oshomole, has sufficiently demonstrated the understanding that education is the bedrock of development of any society. The huge investment on infrastructure and personnel in our education sector classify the high prioritization of the educational sector in Edo State. Our dear comrade governor is a lover of education and has worked tirelessly as a good father to give quality education to our children in Edo State, just as he has done to his biological children. The ultimate success of this noble drive in our education sector will not only rest on our dear comrade governor, it will equally require the appreciation and support of all the good people of Edo State. Our collective support must be targeted at our dear comrade governor in protecting the huge infrastructure investment in our schools. Parents have to inculcate in their words the benefits of good conduct and sound education. The personnel in our educational sector, whether teaching or not teaching, should realize that they are major stakeholders and must not only vie for intrinsic job satisfaction, but should equally demonstrate intrinsic job satisfaction. For us to appreciate the salaries we earn as workers, we must first and foremost be committed and love the job we do. Finally, it is obvious that the end product of the educational sector is the product of sound and quality education. Our teachers should be pivotal to this ultimate goal. For our children to come out sound and competitive in future challenges, teachers must strive to be role models. The challenges of enthroning and sustaining the vision of our dear comrade governor, Comrade Adams Aliyu Oshomole, for sound and qualitative education in Edo State will depend on our ability to play our individual and collective roles as stakeholders in the development of Edo State, which is rooted on positive curricular and ethics education. I thank our dear comrade governor for putting this educational summit together and welcome all the participants to this summit. Thank you and God bless you.
To invite for his remark the Governor of Edo State, Comrade Adams Aliyu Oshomole.
For the purpose of this occasion, the Comrade Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Okaku Pius Ebirame Odugu, the President of the Customary Court of Appeal, the honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives, who we are so honored to have them right here, including Honorable Razak Bello Osagi and Honorable Engineer Osaho, the Secretary to Edo State Government, the Chief of Staff, the Honorable Commissioners for Education and other commissioners here present, our special advisors, the representative of the Commissioner of Police, the representative of His Royal Majesty Omodobate Dokuku Akpolokpolo, our great Oba of the Great Benin Kingdom, Oba Atokwae, from across the 18 local government areas and the 192 wards who are here. Let me appreciate the party leaders who are here, including the chairman of the ACN, the only man who makes me feel like a giant, the former speaker of the Blue House of Assembly, Honorable Bokosu. Let me appreciate, I am so sorry, I'm already running into trouble. You guys will be writing my protocols for me. The most powerful people in Nigeria today are the distributors. And if you don't know how powerful they are, you can go to Port Harcourt. Let me appreciate, in a very special way, my bosses, my organ, members of Edo State House of Assembly here present, including their principal officers and other members of the House. Let me appreciate our party leaders who are here, both past and present founding members of ACN and other political parties here present. Let me especially welcome our permanent secretaries. They are good people who are permanent, while the rest of us are temporary. Let me appreciate my comrades, members of the National Union of Teachers, as well as secondary school teachers and other various groups taking place right here at Imagwero Secondary School. Looking at the turnout, it is very clear that we as Edo people readily recognize and appreciate the import of education. In fact, it is our selling point. Across the country, no one doubts the fact that Edo people are uniquely gifted. We have led in many ways when it comes to education. And this is one of the very few states where you do not need to sermonize to the average parent the need to send the children, including the girl child, to school. That our people readily understood. It is not the same thing across the country. And we are also seeing from national survey that we are not doing very badly. Whereas in some states, the percentage of children, school-aged children who are out of primary and secondary school, in some states is as high as 50%. In Edo State, it is as low as 6%. But our target is that every child must be in school. So we want to achieve a zero level where every child of school age is in school. So every child is in school. That is the logic of free, compulsory, basic education to which we all subscribe to. But first, let me comment on something which has nothing to do with education. Because this is the first opportunity I have to speak to a cross-section of Edo people. You must have heard from the news, whether electronic or print, about the closure of Benin Airport yesterday. I think I have a duty as your steward to explain what happened, because I imagine that some of you or your relatives or your friends may have been affected by the sudden closure of the airport. First, in coming to Edo State, we did make a point that we are coming on a rescue mission and that it will be business as usual. We also promise to enforce the rule of law without fear or favor. You will recall, sir, that the day I was sworn in, I said anything that will constitute obstacle on our way in a determined effort to reposition our state, we will deal with it decisively. I assure you that we will not only step on toes if we have to do so, we might even have to cut up some toes if they become obstacle to progress. I have tried the best of my ability to live up to this commitment, beginning with encouraging our people to abide by the right of way and remove structures that obstruct and prevent us from modernizing the city, and revisiting the whole issue of environmental sanitation, removing illegal structures and expanding roads, and doing all of those things that a responsible government ought to do. But in doing all of that, we made sure that there was no form of discrimination. The AC leaders who had illegal structures had them removed, just like any other party leader. And we have tried as best we can to make a point that our being in government means end of exemption and end of discrimination. Everybody must be seen to be under the law. Even the governor is a creation of law, and the government is a creation of law. Without law, I have no right to be here. It was based on physical fitness. I am one of the least likely persons to be able to mount this rostrum. So being the creation of law, we must respect the law. And when we are in doubt, we go to court and get judicial interpretation of the provisions of the law. That we are trying to do in every material particular. You also know that on arriving here, we found that Edo was more or less a tax-free state. And I insist that we cannot talk of good governance or talk of democracy without people paying their taxes. Government does not create money. Government generates money through taxation. This is a universal truth around the world, whether it's a government of the left or a government of the right. What actually defines the character of a government is the structure of its tax policies. There are right-wing governments that believe that taxes should be as low as possible because they believe that each person should look after himself and God should look after all of us. But every progressive government that I know of insists that the rich should pay tax so that public authority can access the resources required to provide a robust social safety net for the poor, but much more importantly, to ensure that public infrastructure are built in order to be able to attract investment, create prosperity, and defeat poverty. There is no miracle in government. And that is why in other civilized societies, people do not talk of government money. Because government simply doesn't have money. People talk about taxpayers' money. Because the money that government spends is the result of taxes paid by people. And so it is taxpayers' money that we spend to build roads, to build schools, and even to build this world. So it is clear that you can't give what you don't have. And that is why in every modern democracy, when politicians make promises, they must simultaneously explain how they intend to keep those promises. When you promise free education, you must be able to say who will pay for it and how you will identify those to pay. Every public policy produces winners as well as losers. The essence of politics is to acquire power so that you use it authoritatively to allocate resources in a way that reflects the biases of those in government. Which is why right-wing government would prefer that the rich pay little tax and that everybody pays school fees if you want your child to be educated. And if you cannot afford it, then your child can stay with you in the house. But progressive government, on the other hand, believe that people should pay tax according to their income, so that those who are very rich can pay so high, in some countries as high as 40% or even 50% at some level of income, so that you take that surplus in order to provide public facilities. It is only in Nigeria that government will promise to build roads, to build schools, to build hospitals, to provide free healthcare, to provide free education, and they are silent on how they intend to finance it. There is no miracles in government. All I promise is that we will manage the resources of our state as judiciously as we can. But I also understand that part of the reason why Nigeria has been detained, such that we are not able to realize our great potentials, is that those in government never have the lever to enforce the law without fear or favor. But I'm proud to say that in Edo State we have tried to enforce the law without fear or favor. Beginning with the office of the governor, when I arrived here, previous governors were not paying taxes because the law exempted them. I'm happy to say that, beginning with myself, today I am a taxpayer, unlike my predecessors. My deputy governor is a taxpayer, unlike his predecessors. But let me also say that President Goodluck Jonathan is today a taxpayer, unlike his predecessors, because the tax regime has been reformed. We have no right to ask people to pay taxes if we ourselves do not pay. And that, I believe, is the starting point. I'm also happy to say that we got the judiciary to recognize that our judicial officers, they have to pay correct tax. My comrades and my bosses in the House of Assembly, we encourage them that if they must make laws, they must be seen to obey laws. And today, they are paid taxes as I went due. The same thing with the civil service. When I assumed office, many civil servants were only paying a fraction of what they should pay. And I encourage them that they must pay their taxes. Because if a door is going to work, we are not going to be able to depend on oil money. We must encourage people to pay taxes. And the real benefit of getting people to pay taxes is that they become interested on how government money is spent. So today, taxation is no longer an issue in Edo State. Unfortunately, as you have noticed over the period, there have been big players, particularly corporate citizens, and some government agencies who think that by reasons of big government agencies, they were above the law. But I'm very clear that the law does not recognize a government agency from a non-government agency. The law is clear. If you earn, you must pay. And you know it is on record. We have had reasons to shut down some banks. We have had reasons to shut down some media organizations, including TV stations. We have shut down some federal agencies. But in all of that, we have ensured that we didn't resort to thuggery in order to be able to do so. The laws are clear that when tax laws are breached, you go to court, make your case before the judge, allow the other party to make its own defense, and the judiciary will give verdict as to who is right or wrong. Tax matters are not voluntary matters. They are levies which you are obliged to pay. And in other civil societies, if you do not pay your tax, you are a candidate for prison. Prison is it. We are not negotiating with tax defaulters. So yesterday, and this has been a common feature, that the authorities of the Nigeria Airport Management Agency and FAN consistently have refused to pay their taxes. And let me explain, we are not talking of tenement rates. I was watching the director of FAN talking about being exempted from paying tenement rate. He was just confusing himself because he knows the truth. What we ask them to pay, at which they must pay, there is no escape for them. The police can't help them. I emphasize the police cannot help them. They cannot shield them from their tax obligation because even the Inspector General of Police is not exempted from paying taxes. So if the IG himself cannot help himself or prevent himself from or shield himself from paying taxes, he cannot offer that help to any other person. Certainly not in Edo State. This point needs to be made clear. And so yesterday, the Revenue Board, in accordance with our laws, approached the court, having issued several warnings to the authorities of FAN to pay their taxes. And of course, they felt they have federal might behind them, and they will not pay. But we know that everybody is under the law, including the federal government. And the Revenue Board sensibly went to court and showed evidence that FAN and NAMA were owing various sums of money arising, and this is important, arising from deductions they have made from their employees in accordance with the pay as you earn law, which is a federal law. They deduct this money and illegally divert it and fail to remit it to the government of Edo State in clear breach of the law. But we didn't take the law into our hand. We went to the court to show so much has been deducted and it has not been remitted. And the time allowed by law for them to remit had expired. And of course, we obtained a court order to distrain FAN and NAMA. But the Revenue Board, conscious of the fact that the airport is used by members of the public who are no parties to the diversion and the criminal refusal by FAAN to remit the deducted pay as you are of employees to the management, decided to seal off the administrative building of the airport manager on the basis of a court order. If FAAN thought that the court order was unfairly issued, the only lawful option open to them is not to go to the police, but to approach either the state court or to approach a superior court to vacate that order. Nigeria is not a police state. We are not in a police state, and the police itself is a creation of law. If the Police Act were to be abolished, they will have no right to their uniform, and they will have no right to arrest. So all of us are creation of the law, and therefore we